So Paul, we didn't do the intro, but here we are. Hello, everybody. This is Musa. How you doing? Sorry for the little delay. We've had a bit of technical difficulty. Normally have our amazing intro, but I'm just going to just go forth and say, here we are. We are so close. Woo! We're so close to this election. We have a great show for you coming up. We're going to talk about the election shortly with someone who knows, who's on the ground. He knows what's happening nationally, also locally, as well as our featured guest, which I'm excited to bring her on board as well. But like anything else, we always tend to tell you what's happening in the world. Okay. All right. So we're moving on. Thank you guys for joining on. A little bit of technical difficulties tonight. So we're going to just, like I said, go on. I'm really excited for tonight with our guest that we have. Once again, we'll be discussing the upcoming voting. We're just so close. We're like, 11 days out. So, we're going to discuss that, how to get, mobilize the troops so that we can, have a huge impact. So one of our guests will be talking about that. Of course, our featured guest and cover star for Ambassador Digital Magazine Live. Okay. Once again, I'm Musa Jackson. And had a interesting couple of days. I needed to kind of unwind a little bit. It's interesting coming from New York, from Harlem. You tend to forget just how amazing and beautiful actually our state is. So I got to go upstate to my bestie's place up in Rhinebeck and just unwind a little bit. And it's beautiful this time of year up there, and also see what's happening upstate. It was interesting being up there. As gorgeous as it is, it seemed to be, what I did notice, it was, I think it was definitely leaning more towards Biden-Harris, although you did see a couple of Trump signs up there. So that was, to be expected. But, New York, we know, is typically a blue state. So there are others that, we got to get all the others rallied. There's so many states that are hanging in the balance, many swing states. In this case, I believe Biden and Harris have definitely should a lead over Pumpkinhead. So we got to make sure that they keep the lead. And, like I said, we're going to talk to our guest about our first guest that's going to come on about that. Wow. What's happening in the world? As we know, earlier this month, which is Derek Chauvin, the murderer of George Floyd, the former cop, he was released on $1 million bail. I think as it stands, I have here the third-degree murder charge has been dropped, but the second-degree murder charge and the second-degree manslaughter charge are still in effect. But it's interesting how you can kill somebody and can be, they can have the bail at $1 million when we already know that he would be released. What is it, 10% of that? And of course, the police union has him out. So we have to continue to press forward and make sure that these things are ratified and, reformed once we take control of that. Also wanted to say, interesting that, what's been happening over in Nigeria. And I'll be honest with you, you know, I just became, I mean, even though I know systemic racism and everything is all over the world when it comes to people, Black people, that's just a fact. If, you know, anywhere in the world, we are discriminated against. You know, police brutality here is not uncommon in other places. And I didn't know, honestly, just going to let you, I didn't know completely what SARS was. So I know some of our viewers might not know what that is when they see NSARS, but I'm going to break it down. A good friend of mine who is Nigerian, Ngo, broke it down for me, so I can break it down for you. And it's basically, when you hear SARS, it's the Special Anti-Robbery Squad, right, which was put in place to protect civilians from armed robbers. Instead, they extort, harass, and kill innocent youth. They are profiling youth with nice cars, nice clothes, for simply having iPhones, assuming that they partake in fraud and engage in crime. SARS will stop you, go through your phone, and force you to draw money from an ATM, threatening to beat or kill you. And they are known for blatant robbery while being backed by the law. Okay? So what can you do? You can use your voice on social media like I'm doing now to inform the world of what's happening and in Nigeria. Let's end SARS. Your voice is needed. There is no, I don't feel that there is any difference between what's happening here, what's happening there. So when I hear even people say, we got to worry about what's happening in America. Well, America, we, as an African-American, it was 400 years in a boat that separated us, okay? So what happens over there, we got to start to think a different way, that they are us and we are them. And the same fight that's happening here is happening in other places. So I say in SARS, you have my support, you have Ambassador Digital Magazine support, and many of us over here support what's happening in terms of ending SARS and ending police brutality worldwide. So, gosh, with that, I want to go right into, and you know, I have this moment with you guys and what's really most important, even though, I want to also say, we just, you know, Amy, I call her Amy Becky Karen Cohen Barrett. The nomination, as we know, has gone through. I think it was 12 to 10, 12 Republicans, 10 Democrats. Don't get me wrong on those numbers, but I just saw it on the news. And I think every Democrat was absent, was boycotted in their place. They had, you know, why, their reasons why, with place cards of who will be affected because of her nomination, because she's so unqualified. But now that she's there. So this is just one strike. As we also know, tonight is the second presidential debate. And I heard that they're going to be they'll be able to mute Pumpkinhead if he gets out of line, which he will get out of line, and he will spout his lies and try to intimidate and try to do whatever he does, you know. I think Biden he did well in the last debate. I'm sure he'll do very well in this debate as well. And, you know, and when he talks about the senility, he talks about this man is old and he's only 3 years older. Okay. So once again, trying to smokescreen that. But, you know, once again, I think we are going to totally demolish them at the polls. So you know what? While you're here, you're coming on board, I want to talk to our first guest. I'm excited to bring him on, and he will definitely, we have some questions for him, but I want to let him just run and talk about what we should be, where we should be focused right now, as we are right there. So I want to bring on the cultural director of Move On, Michael Crawford. Michael. Once again, I'm having a little bit of difficulties. And while we're doing that, I also want to show my T-shirt. It says "Phenomenally Harlem," and it is a T-shirt that was given to me along with a very nice gift box from Dance Theater of Harlem, which is in their 50th year, and they had their virtual gala on Monday. And it's amazing. It's an incredible institution that has been in Harlem for 50 years, founded by the late, great Arthur Mitchell. And is the tradition is now being kept on with, Virginia Johnson, who's once a prima ballerina for the company. And she runs it along with Executive Director Anna Glass. And they have amazing dancers. Their star is Ingrid Silva, along with some company stars. We have, who's there? Oh my God. Derek and Lindsay. I know those two dancers. So congratulations, you guys, on an amazing virtual gala you had. I wish you guys success. So please support them any way that you can, and be on the lookout for some of the things that they'll be putting forward. Okay. So once again, I'm still waiting. Like I said, we've been having a bit of technical difficulties tonight. And so I'm just waiting on our producer to bring on Michael. So bear with us. I'm having a great show for you with our lovely, lovely, lovely actress and entrepreneur and cover star for us. So hold on a second. Let me see what's happening. Okay. So, yeah. And, what's really important, guys, is to understand that, we have a lot happening right now in this country. And I know we really can make a difference. I really believe that. I believe that what we really need to do is make sure that we all vote. I am unapologetically Democratic, unapologetically blue. I'm not saying it's a perfect party at all, but I know that it's better than the other side. And that the things that I care about, which is healthcare, jobs, finding, the best way to handle this COVID moment. I'm not going to be getting a run around. I'm not going to, have to wait, hopefully for our stimulus packages. I'm not going to have to, pay for if there's a vaccine that, is the right vaccine, that'll be made available, that my health care, will still be in place and not be taken away. I'm the son of someone who is, I have an elderly parent, that she will be taking care of my mother, that my children's future when it comes to climate, our climate, that they will be able to take the reins, because we saw it as something that was real and not a hoax. Remember, those are really important words when we think about when you're talking to people, when you have undecided people, when you have neighbors that are saying things like, I don't like either candidate, so I'm not going to vote, kind of let them know that it's, that's not an option. They have to vote, and they have to vote for the right side of history at this point. And whatever issues that we have, especially as an African-American Black man, I know, like I said, there's some major things on our side, but that let's deal with that after we knock him out of office and after they go after him. I'm talking about Pumpkinhead, for all the things, all the atrocities, all of the backsliding, all of the taxes, all of the things, forget an impeachment. Let's put his behind in jail where he deserves, let's see what karma really should happen for this person. I really hope the brunt of karma really happens for him. You know, if anybody deserves it, it's him and his family. You know, I think that I don't think this is the most important election in my lifetime. And you know, everybody that I know, my mother's lifetime, you know, she's in her 80s and she said something to that effect. So, you know, I think that we have to do more. We have to do more. So if you can, you know, I know on my end, I'm taking like my building. So I've already organized our building in terms of how we're going to vote. Some people are early. There's definitely early voting. So I know come this weekend, we'll be able to do early voting. You know, I'm the kind of person I know for me, because I'm well known in Harlem, I want to rally people on that day. So I'm a little different. So I'm going on that day. I'll be up real early, crack of dawn, and making sure that, you know, I obviously vote, and I'm out there making sure that, you know, the bullhorn, if I have to, you got to vote. Okay. So whatever you got to do by any means necessary, get yourself to the polls, get your family to the polls, whoever's eligible to vote, and make sure that, you know, people that are also in swing states, if you have family in swing states and others, that we really, you know, continue to do whatever we can, you know? So, like I said, okay, so here we go. Thank you so much, Michael, for being here.
Thank you. Thank you, Musa. How are you this evening?
I'm really good. I'm glad to see you. It's an important time. You know, I was just telling our viewers, people who are on, and this is Michael Crawford, as you can see, culture director for Move On. Why don't we start there? What does a culture director for Move On do?
Yeah, so my job is basically I get to do the cool, fun stuff. So thinking about how we engage with younger audiences, with people of color, and using culture as a strategy in order to do that. So for example, around July 4th, I organized a campaign called My American Flag, which was based around the insight that unless you're indigenous to America, we've all come from someplace else. And there is really no right or wrong way to be American. So we created unique flags for about 15 or so celebrities, including Billy Porter, Alfre Woodard, etc., that showed their national heritage. So for example, Roxane Gay, the writer, we created a flag for her that blended elements of the American flag and the Haitian flag into a flag that uniquely represented her. And so I get to do cool and creative things like that, including right now, a lot of stuff focused around art and gifts and memes and video for the elections.
That's awesome. And I know everyone is just so, I mean, it's a different kind of electricity than obviously in 2008, where we were hopeful and excited, and, you know, it was just a different day. We're galvanized, obviously, in the same strength, but in a different direction, I would imagine, right? So tell us why don't you just explain to us on the national level what's happening in terms of voting and all that stuff.
Yeah, so you're right. There was definitely a different kind of energy in 2008. We were really excited about electing Barack Obama, our first Black president. At the time, he was just a senator. And so there was a rush of energy, of optimism, of hope, which became his signature phrase. And now I think we're in a very different time. 4 years ago, Donald Trump said to Black people, he said, vote for me because what do you have to lose? And what we've seen over the last 4 years is exactly what we have to lose. Everything from his complete and utter botched response to the COVID-19 pandemic, which has about 220,000 Americans have died so far. And a lot of those folks are Black and brown people. And they did so, and the disease was able to spread so widely because he failed at even the most basic of presidential duties, which is to ensure the safety of the American people. We've seen that the economy has crashed as a result of his ineptitude. We've seen that everything from our ability to go outside, like right now, it's hard for us to go outside without masks because of the pandemic. And so where we are now is we have about 12 days left in the election season, which means we have 12 days in order to vote to kick him out of office and to elect Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. And the amazing thing about Joe Biden and Kamala Harris is that they are real opportunities for progress on all of the issues that we cared about. So you, for example, I heard you mention healthcare as being an issue that's important to you. Of course, Vice President Biden was with President Obama crafting the Affordable Care Act, most commonly known as Obamacare. And they've promised to expand on that to increase the number of people who have access to healthcare. And so when we're thinking about what's happening over the next 11, 12 days, we have an opportunity to put a stop to what Trump has wrought. And what he has wrought has been damaging to our democracy. He's proven himself to be utterly, utterly corrupt. And everything about the way that he has operated as president has been about what he can gain for him and his family. And it's no secret that he's practically besties with Putin in Russia. Which is, historically has been an enemy of the United States. And so what's at stake here is American democracy. And I know that sounds super dramatic to say, but right now we have the ability to vote to ensure that American democracy lives another day. And for Black people especially, it's important because one of the things that Hannah Nicole Jones said in the 1619 Project, which is phenomenal if folks haven't read it, is that America wasn't a true democracy until Black people made it so. What's also true is that we are the most powerful voting bloc in the country, not because of our numbers, but because of the rate at which we turn out. And we know that Black folks are going to be turning out in the millions in this election cycle to vote for Joe Biden, to vote for Kamala Harris, to vote for Democratic senators, to ensure that Democrats maintain the House, and to vote blue up and down the ballot.
Understood that. And being from New York, I have no doubt that we're going to, it's our state. It's blue state all the way. So what can we do? What can we do now, in terms of voting or whatever, or getting the word out or whatever in other states that are kind of hanging in the balance? What would be your suggestion for us? You know what I'm saying? I know,
Yeah.
I know we're good here in New York, right? But what would be your thought pattern on that?
Yeah, totally. And I'm happy that you mentioned the here in New York, because we both live in New York, and that you didn't give me any grief for the fact that you live in Harlem and I don't. But one day I might join you in Harlem. So I think the most important thing that we can do right now is to encourage our friends and family to vote. And if you go to moveon.org/vote, you'll find resources that will help you do just that. So there'll be a couple of things on that page. There will be the ways that you yourself can actually vote. There will be talking points and information that you can use to help your friends and family vote. Because in states like Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Georgia, North Carolina, the swing states that could determine whether or not we're able to defeat Donald Trump, Black folks are legion in those areas. And if we turn out in massive numbers, the kind of numbers that we need to turn out in, then we can help Joe Biden and Kamala Harris win those states, which would then mean that Mr. Biden would become president. And the thing about it is, we don't just want to ensure that Trump loses. We want to crush him. We want to make sure that there is an irrevocable proof that the American people have elected Joe Biden as president, because we also know that Mr. Trump is going to, cast aspersions and create confusion around the election results. And the way for us not to let him do that is to turn out in the massive numbers that we need to in order to ensure that the victory by Mr. Biden and Senator Harris is huge. And, Black folks, brown folks, young folks, we can all do it together. And we've seen the impact that we can have when we turn out. In 2008 and in 2012, both Obama elections were in part because massive numbers of people of color turned out to vote. And what people may not realize is that even for Obama, it was a majority of white people still voted for the Republican candidate. And so we need to make sure that we're that Black people, Latino people, young folks, that we're turning out in massive, massive numbers to ensure that Mr. Biden and Senator Harris can be elected.
Well, I want to say to you, thank you so much for everything that you've done and everything that MoveOn.org is doing. I hope people got the information. Please listen, go and vote. I want to thank you for coming on our show, Michael. And yeah, and we got this.
Yes, we got this. And at some point, I hope to be able to physically meet you in Harlem, because it's a wonderful part of the city. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you, Michael Crawford, from the Culture Director for MoveOn.org. So here we are. And she has been waiting patiently. So once again, I want to thank you guys for coming on to Ambassador Digital Magazine Live. I'm Musa Jackson, your host. And I just want to say this young woman who I just got to meet she's absolutely, first off, she's absolutely gorgeous, number one. So she's a complete knockout. And she is from the Midwest, which, people out there from the Midwest, Ann Arbor, Michigan. She is now residing in Harlem. She was discovered as a model. She's modeled for everyone from L'Oreal Paris. She's had roles on Chicago PD, Law and Order. She's been in films A Boy, a Girl, and a Dream, as well as Moozlim, directed by her brother. You're going to find out about that. And The Shy as Pumpkin, and the soon-to-be starring role in Holiday Heartbreak. And she's also, just so that you know, she's a boss. She's an entrepreneur. Please welcome the very talented, gorgeous MARYAM BASIR. Hi.
Hi, Musa.
First off, you look incredible.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. What an introduction.
Oh, well, there you go. I mean, it's all true. It's all facts. I only do facts. And I also just want to say a quick little shout out. We always do this, MARYAM, just because, we're always thankful for people. Tony Belafonte, Charles Massey, Kevin, people have joined us. Anyway, just want to say to you, thank you so much for coming on. And it's an incredible time. Wow, Mary, to be a, Black actress, at this moment. You know what I mean?
It's an incredible yeah.
Yeah. And so, but where you started, it's interesting because, the Midwest is, some people like to say the heartland of America, but, it's the Midwest, and it's, and when they think of the Midwest, they don't always think of you. So what was that like for you growing up?
They don't always think of what?
They don't always think of the Black girl. When they hear Midwest, right? They think Midwesterner, right? And you are from the Midwest. You were raised in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Yes. Yes.
So what was that like for you?
Being from Ann Arbor?
Yeah, being from the Midwest and a different type of environment. Listen, I grew up in the city of Harlem, right? So it's going to be a different experience,
so being from
right?
the Midwest, so the Midwest is like basically the opposite of It's the opposite of New York. So as New York is like the big city, everything's hustling and bustling, moving. There are buildings everywhere. In the Midwest, I see, you know, in fields, and I'm really appreciative to have grown up in the Midwest, because I got a chance to grow up with like grass and being able to run. And I was like a huge tomboy where I used to catch all kinds of animals, snakes and frogs and all kinds of animals, and just being with a big family. The Midwest is very warm. It's a very warm place, meaning just like warm-hearted, where everyone speaks to everyone, just on the strength of being like another Black person that you see, or just another person you see, just like, hi, how are you today, or whatever. And it's not like that in New York. When I got to New York, I got a rude awakening, that I couldn't speak to everybody because that caused other issues.
Right.
And it's funny, I have to kind of go back and forth. Like, I'm in New York, and I have to put up kind of like a guard when I'm walking the streets of New York. And then I go back to Michigan, and I have to go back to that other kind of thing as well. So growing up in the Midwest, it was wonderful. I had a wonderful childhood. I appreciate my parents, my sisters and brothers, and I had a great childhood. I had nothing to complain about. The thing about it is that I always knew, though, that I wanted to live in New York. I have an uncle here, and I used to come to visit them as a child, and I was like, I'm going to be in New York. Me and my best friends would just say, we're going to have like a brownstone in New York, you know, and that was just going to be our lives. So I knew I was going to be here ever since I was a kid.
Well, look at that. And here you are. Also, yeah, it's, you know, it's definitely one of those, it's like where dreams are made. You also grew up in a very strict Muslim household.
Yes.
Which, you know, I think, and I want to talk about that a little bit, only because, you know, and I know something obviously about that, Musa, right? And just kind of like, what was that like growing up in a Muslim household? Because, you know, I think people think of it as being, even though it's strict, that you can't be certain things, right? And here you are, an actress. So what was that like for you growing up in that kind of environment? And did that, you know, have anything to do with where you are today?
You know what, the thing is, I heard like the last part said, what was that like growing up? So I didn't hear the first. You said being Muslim?
Yes. So what was it like growing up in a Muslim?
Yeah. So being Muslim, it was like we just lived by certain rules, and with those rules, basically like our lifestyle. It's the way that you wake up in the morning, the way you go to sleep at night, just throughout the day, the prayers, the way that you live, the way that you dress, the way that you eat, all those things. It was just my lifestyle. So that's just the lifestyle that I knew. And again, I appreciated it. I still appreciate it, as the things that as what made me who I am. Right. You know, we also had like a community. We had a small community within our own family because we had such a big family, but just even our surrounding community, it was just like we looked out for each other. You know, we always had people to support us. And a lot of people think sometimes like being Muslim or covering, because I grew up in hijab, like wearing a hijab and covering everything. And people think that that's kind of like, oh, you know, they're being oppressed or whatever, but it's actually not that at all. I feel like growing up Muslim, I was actually protected from a lot of things. And again, like coming to New York, I had a lot of rude awakenings, and I was naive to a lot of things. So so I had to learn really quickly. Being Muslim, I feel like there are good traits. You know, there are so many things that I learned just as a human by being raised Muslim. So I appreciate it. I still appreciate the religion. I appreciate religion for certain things. And also, like when I moved to New York, it was kind of like a thing for me, because one day I did obviously decide to stop wearing a hijab. I, you know, got into like modeling, started doing like bikini stuff and things that people are just like, you cannot be Muslim and do this, you know? So that was also very challenging for me. It was like I had a lot of people, well, some people who just were just so unsupportive, even within my own family, who just don't support me. Like my father, for example, and which he's an imam, he's a religious leader, so he was like against everything that I'm doing. But then there were also a whole bunch of people who like hit me up on like Instagram, Facebook, like, you know, I want to do what you do, and I applaud what you do, you know, because I'm still Muslim, you know, and I still pray 5 times a day. I still fast during Ramadan. I still do things of a Muslim, and I just believe that your religion or whatever your faith is, it's a personal relationship between you and God. So I look at it as that, and God is only what I do every day, all the decisions that I make every day, you know, what's right or wrong. I try not to judge. You know, we all judge, but I try not to judge other people because I don't want to be judged as well. Because I believe that like God is the only judge. So being Muslim, growing up Muslim, my dad was so strict, and my mom is and was more just like a spiritual person, and it's like, you know, how is your relationship, how is your soul, you know? Are you okay with yourself? And that's the most important thing.
Right.
So that's the thing that I look at. Okay, am I okay with myself?
Right. And what I'm hearing, what I love about what I'm hearing is that you were able to retain almost the best of both worlds, meaning you have your Muslim faith, right? Keisha, yes, hair. I want to snap when she said that. Your friend Keisha. Yes, Miss. And I see Rahco.
The hairstylist for Holiday, the movie.
Oh, fantastic. Which we'll talk about.
Yeah, she was. Yeah.
But you know, I like that you're a spiritual person who also still practices. You know what I'm saying? With the 5 times, a lot of people may not know that about you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but I like, right, and that's cool. And I think that that's what I like about who we can be. We can have all of those things, and just as long as we're who
I feel like if there's something good that you're getting from somewhere, from whatever source, I feel like take it and bring it into your life. Like if there's something that I read in the Bible that I think is a beautiful thing that you should do, I would adopt that as something in my life that I believe. You know, I take things, I meditate every single day. That's, you know, what people see like a Buddhist practice. I think if there's something good and positive that I feel like can make me a better human, then that's something that I'm going to do. And if there's something that makes me feel bad or makes me feel like it's against my belief system, I'm going to reject it no matter where it comes from.
That's great. That's great. So now let's talk about the positive now. We have been. I want to talk about your, what people may not know is that you also modeled for L'Oreal Paris, which was huge. That's a big deal. I was a model and I know those are big names, but you're gorgeous. So I can understand why they picked selected. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. What was that like? And do you like that?
Because what did you say?
I said, what was that like? And also, do you like modeling? Because I know you do acting. Do you like modeling?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I love modeling. And the crazy thing is, like, growing up, I never really thought of it. Like, oh, I'm going to be a model. I'm going to be an actor. I was always like, I'm going to move to New York and become an entrepreneur. I'm going to have my own business. But I came to New York and just kind of like kept getting approached for that kind of thing. And then I was like, that became my source of income. And it was way more successful than any other entrepreneurial endeavor that I did. So I was like, I need to just stick with this. But yeah, working with L'Oreal was a dream because I believe in manifestation, and what you put out there comes to you, whether it's positive or negative. So the things that you repeat in your head will come to you. So I literally was thinking L'Oreal. I told my best friend this too. I said, I was thinking L'Oreal as soon as I came to New York in January. And I don't know why, I just was thinking L'Oreal. Next thing you know, boom, I booked a L'Oreal shoot. That was the first shoot that I did in New York this year. And it was also the last because it was like right before COVID happened. So they shut everything down, like that same week, they shut everything down. So it was just, you know, it was surreal because I'm like, you know, my best friend and my family, they always remind me of these things. Like, look at the things that you've done. Sometimes I forget, like, you know, L'Oreal, Lancome, like Nike, like all these really big brands. And sometimes I just like, I'm always thinking about the next thing. Like, what can I do next? What's next for me? You know, but then sometimes I have to sit back and say, wow, like this is really happening, you know, and I'm very, very grateful for it.
That's awesome.
And then working with Sir John, well, the makeup artist, he's incredible. Beyonce,
Sir John.
Yeah, Sir John is everything. So that was amazing. I learned a lot of tricks from her too. I learned like certain. I'm like, oh, okay, I never did that before. So yeah, the L'Oreal shoot was
nice.
Here it was a nice way to leave the industry for quarantine. Oh,
nice.
And there
that's him.
Yes.
Love it. Oh, he's got my name on the back. Okay.
What did you say?
No, just dumb. It was me being dumb. This is cute. Oh my God. Wow. I mean, you have a perfect.
Why am I getting shy right now?
Don't be shy. So here you are. So now you're in New York and you're working actress also. And we know Chicago PD and was a Law and Order, a few other things, but also movies. You've done independent films, and and also had the opportunity to work with your very talented brother, which I always love hearing about. Talented families, and that's awesome. But and we're going to talk about that. So you work on A Boy, a Girl, and a Dream, right? A Boy, a Girl, and a Dream, who was shot by your brother. Tell us a little bit about that experience.
Boy, a Girl, a Dream.
A Boy, Girl, a Dream, right? So tell us a little bit about that film and what it was like making that film.
What was it like making that film? So that film was the only one I've ever done like that, the only one I've ever seen like that, which it was a oneer, meaning the whole movie was done in one take. So I was only in LA for a couple days working on it like everybody else. And we literally, the whole movie was shot in one take. So there was no like cut action. For people who don't know, when you shoot a movie, you shoot like every single take. You shoot so many takes of every scene. So like you may get like the wide shot, the close up, the 3/4 shot, like from this direction, and you're gonna get it from this direction, and you're gonna get your co-star's close up. There's so many different shots that you take, but you have to have a very talented director of photography, DP, to go and get all those shots in one take. So basically, the movie doesn't stop. It's like in real time. So we had to, like for my scene, for my part, I had to just be ready, waiting, like, okay, I can't mess this up. Like everybody was just like, you can't mess it up, because when you mess it up, you got to start the whole movie over again. So this is why this movie made it to Sundance, because I mean, this is one of the reasons. It was also a beautiful film, but but it was just so creative. Like Qasim, my brother, he's just very, very talented. He's so sensitive, and you see that in the film. Like you see like his sensibilities. That's him right there.
Oh, that's so great. That's so awesome. That's your
very
brother.
Happy to
That's your brother.
That's my brother.
That's your brother. That's so great. And you're doing a film like that, and if you mess up, like you said, you got to start the whole thing over. So it's just like to have a film where that you have to be good. You better be good. And then you also did another one. Right.
Omar Hart and Good, where the stars, they had to know the entire movie. It's kind of like doing a live theater performance. So you have to know all of your lines the whole time. But I've just never seen a movie like that.
Right. Shout out to Amari Hardwick and Megan Good, who were the stars, right? But interestingly enough, you work with your brother again. And what? I'm bringing up the next film.
No.
Because
Megan, beautiful.
What? Amari, right? Amari, Megan Good, right? Amari, Megan Good, right? Okay. And I'm bringing up the next film, which was Moozlim. And I know that, right? So, which was directed once again by your brother. Tell us a little bit about that, because that seemed to be a personal situation when I heard the title, knowing that you are Muslim. What was that about?
Yeah, so Moozlim was, that was also very interesting to shoot, because, while we were shooting, I didn't really see everything. I read the script obviously before, but once Nia did that performance. So first of all, Nia Long basically played our mother, right? So this was our family story, Moozlim.
Right.
There was some give and take, but it was basically our family story growing up being Muslim. And except that in this family there were 2 kids, in our family there were 5. So, and there were just other changes as well, because it's hard to shoot like 5 kids in this movie. So so basically it was very, very emotional, and I cried watching this film.
Wow.
Because it just was very personal to us. So yeah, you guys got to watch it. It's definitely a tearjerker.
Yeah,
have your Kleenex ready.
Yeah, definitely. When something that's personal, you're putting your life out there for people, and without all the judgment, all the stuff, you're being
it
your
was just a peek, or childhood because we're so much more to. What'd you say?
No, I'm saying that when you do something so personal.
I was saying there was so much happened with.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. Could you hear what I said?
No.
I was saying that, and I'll just say this, that when we're putting your brother being involved, this is your family, or at least, based around that's who you guys are. And then now the world gets to sort of peek into your lives. And that's where I think sometimes the emotional, because we're protective of our family. We're protective of how we grew up, right? But now it's exposed to the world for everything. You know what I mean? So I think kudos to you guys for sharing.
This film. So the thing is, this film was like a glimpse, a small piece, like into our life, a story, from one perspective, and it was emotional because it was part of our lives. It didn't encompass everything, though. There was so much more than that,
Right.
We went through a lot, and somebody just said the audio's off, Mercury retrograde, but anyway.
Oh, thanks, Mercury. It is. We got to deal with it
and all that.
Yeah,
but it's okay. We're still here.
We look beautiful, though.
It was definitely. Thank you. So it was, like I said, it was a glimpse into our lives. So it was emotional, but it definitely didn't tell the full story. So as much as it is out there and things like that, but it didn't feel. I was glad that it was out there because more people from different perspectives need to be able to tell their stories, and you don't really see a lot of stories about Muslim families at all.
Right.
So,
especially Black Muslims, if I want to go there. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Right.
Even more so.
Even more so. And now moving on to another. Go ahead.
No.
Moving on to the Shy Pumpkin. What was that? Let's talk about that.
The Shy?
Yeah.
The Shy was so much fun. Again, being in the mess was wonderful. Working with all the lovely actors from The Shy. Everyone is so talented. Everyone is so warm and welcoming. And they just made you feel like one of them, And I think I was telling you before that, like, when you get on set, it's almost like you have a new family each time you're on set. Like every show or every film has its own culture. So,
right.
You have things that you can relate about, whether it's like food or music or the things that make up a culture. So it's like every set has its own culture. So you grow to love these cultures. And that's why I love what I do, because you get to meet so many different people and so many different atmospheres, and then you get to play these different characters. And then you start to take on the some of your characters, because that's what you have to do, to become that character. And, working in The Shy was great. Danielle Munson was like my fave. I love her. And, just many of the people on there, they just made me feel so warm. It was comedic. Like, I didn't think I was funny. I still don't think I'm funny, like Holiday Heartbreak is the comedy.
Right.
But people were like, that was really funny. So I was like, okay. But it was just fun. It's just fun to be free and just have fun with it. I got to play. I was pregnant in The Shy and as Pumpkin, and they were great with what they did with the fake belly. Everybody thought it was a real belly, and it was just fun. That's the most I can say. They're long days, but the days are good.
Wow.
It's so worth it.
Awesome. Which brings us to now. Here you are starring in the upcoming comedy. Oh, he's gonna probably put up The Shy. That's on The Shy. That's so beautiful. We get to give it a little. Let's do that. Shout out to The Shy.
It's really a great film.
It is. And so this leads us now here we are, leading role in Holiday Heartbreak. Holiday Heartbreaker. Talk about that.
Great.
How does that feel to be in a leading role now in a film? You come to New York, like you said, you were to be an entrepreneur. You know, you're discovered as a model. You know, you have a Muslim background. You know, you're doing all this, and here you are now in a lead role in a film. Okay, talk about that. Come on, girl.
Okay, I'm gonna talk about it. All right. So on one hand, there are like two ways that I feel. On one hand, I'm like, okay, this is where I'm supposed to be. Like that's how I feel, right? On the other hand, I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is where I am. You know what I mean? It's just like, you know, I honestly feel two ways. I'm like, my mother always tells me, like, why are you surprised? My sister will tell me, like, of course you're in a lead role, you know? So I have the support of my family and my friends. Keisha was always like, you know, look at what you've done. So, but there's still a part of me that's just like, oh my gosh, like what the F? You know what I mean? Like, it's just, again, surreal. It's just like, you know, I'm in New York, I'm doing exactly what I wanted to do. And it's just, you know, not many people can say that. And I just feel extremely blessed and extremely grateful. I feel an enormous amount of gratitude to be given this opportunity, to be trusted with this role. Hey Trey. And I just, like I said, I just want to do more.
Yeah.
I want to play more roles. I'm doing exactly what I want to do and exactly what I set out to do. And I feel grateful, most of all, grateful.
Yeah. Well, it looks great. It's a great cast. Lisa Ray McCoy. I see that Michael Collier, AJ Johnson. It's a romantic comedy, guys, coming out, you know, during the holiday season. So look out for that. We'll be looking out for that. We'll be watching.
Listen, this movie is must. Okay, this movie is going to be hilarious. I thought, you know, when I went into it, you know, you read the script, right? And then you have your idea, like, this is a good script. I like it. But then once you get on set and you see the different performances, like Country Wayne, insane. You know what I mean? Kenneth Wayne, AJ Johnson, Michael Collier, Lisa Ray, all these phenomenal actors. I just look at them and all like, wow. And then also the personal connections I made with everyone was just incredible. But the movie itself, it leaps and bounds beyond what I could even have imagined. So I can't wait for it to come out. Like, I'm super excited for it to come out. And every day they would watch the dailies and say, like, you know, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. Like the producer, she told me once, she doesn't always like watch the dailies. She's like, for this movie, I've been watching the dailies like every single day. So I'm so eager to see once it's edited and once it's just out. I can't wait.
So, and Charles Massey, and I totally agree with him. He said it's only the beginning for you. So
thank you so much.
Yeah, and you know what? Because this is my show, I can ask. What's next for you? What would you personally like to do that maybe wasn't even on your wish list, but now that your juices are flowing, you're conquering some of your, you know, manifesting some of your dreams, what would be something that you want to do? Let's look into the magic ball.
I've been wanting to do like my own web series for a while, and we started shooting it. It's just something, I don't want to say small because I don't want to put small out there, but it's just, something I'm experimenting with. And so I'm partnering with like this awesome writer, and we actually just shot the first episode. So you guys can be looking out for that sometime in the future.
Nice.
And so I'm super excited about that. I always saw myself like, being on camera, but then it also makes sense to just like create our own content with the way the world is now with like IGTV and like Facebook, YouTube, and, just be able to create and just constantly work and create our own content. So I'm working on that right now. I just finished shooting everything and sending it over to the editor yesterday. So, I'm going to keep shooting more episodes of that. And then also I'm working on another film called Blind Currency. I saw the director Trey on here. And so I'm really excited about that. I'm headed to Houston next month to shoot the film Blind Currency, which is going to be a great film. I loved the script when I read that. I was like, I'm in. So just film. I really, really want to do films. Film and TV, that's my thing. So, Who knows? Who knows? I feel like it's just
You also know that you're a businesswoman. I'm going to cut you off, but we also know that you're a businesswoman, an entrepreneur as well. You keep that side. We talk about that other hustle, you know, that you have.
Yes,
the side
bay. I said the side bay.
The side thing, right? Which I love, because you know what? I love that you're continuing to, you know, regardless, you're creating your own content, you're creating your own, you know, your own work for yourself. You know what I mean? Besides what's coming your way, obviously. And then on top of it, you have that business skill to create businesses. And I think for any actress out here or actor, own your stuff. Sometimes don't wait. Get together with the group, create your own content, create. We are creators. And so I'm really proud that you're doing that. And I'm also very proud, Paul, because we have reached that point, right? Where I'm very proud to, before we say it, before we put it up there, I want to always thank our team. This is what I do. So I want to thank, first off, I want to thank Paul, who's a creative director and amazing photographer who shot this. I want to thank the amazing Stephen Rice and Kevin McQueen. Kevin did the makeup and Stephen did the hair. I want to thank Rahco Thompson. He pulled it together, styling.
Rahco.
Rahco. I want to thank Courtney Douglas. And I also want to thank Trenna, because she did them nails, honey. Did you 7-1? No, okay, you have other nails, right? All right, but she did nails. So it was just a great collaboration and a great thing that came together. And then, of course, you and your beauty and sexiness nailed it. So here we go. Are we ready, Paul? Take her away. Cover number 21. Paul. Mercury retrograde, hold up. Pow.
Oh. Wow, I love it. Oh my gosh.
Can we break down?
Thank you. That made me look hot. I love it.
It was so sizzling.
It's so bright.
It's bright.
Yes, the expression.
It's just, you are crazy, amazing, and beautiful and sexy. And so, and this is, when me and Paul saw this, we were like, oh my God, this is the cover. She's just, it's too sexy.
Right, there's so much emotion behind that. I love it. Thank you so much for this opportunity to be able to
You're so welcome. You are cover number 21.
Thank you, everyone.
Rahco did a great job.
Red hot.
And that's what you are, honey. You are red hot. And red hot, like, you know, your career is red hot.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I do feel like this is just the beginning.
Yes.
Oh wow. Look at, oh my gosh. What is that?
It's a cover. It's editorial pictures. Along with the
story. Yeah, I forgot about the rest of them.
I know. But there's more.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Great job, guys, on the hair and makeup.
I can't wait to see the rest of them.
Stephen and Kevin, you did a great job. Stephen Rice, Kevin McQueen, you did a great job on the hair and makeup. Once again, and those lips are popping.
Wonderful shot.
They're popping. We just gave it, more.
Ooh. That is so cool. Yes.
It's all very, you know.
They're like so small on my phone. I can't wait to like.
I know. It's because she's looking at it, guys, from her phone. I'm on a big screen. And then once you get it on your, we'll be debuting it, guys. So all of our viewers that come on now, they get to get a sneak peek. And then we release the issue on Saturday, normally Saturday morning.
Yes.
You get the entire story.
Okay.
Okay? I mean, you'll get it.
Hold on,
you know,
I gotta get
you got to hook up. Miriam, you got to hook up.
Oh, I got the hook up. Okay, because I'm on my picture right now.
It's so hot. The cover is so hot. It's just, it's beautiful.
Thank you so much again.
Yeah, it's so gorgeous. And you brought the sexy. So I think someone's seeing this picture of you. There's other roles, guys. She's like, you know,
yes,
sex, you know, she's talented. She's gorgeous and she's talented and she's smart and she's smart. But you're also gorgeous as hell. So I just want to say, he's got more. Look at.
Oh, look at those nails. Oh my gosh, those nails.
Look at that. Well, Trina will watch. She'll watch later. Trina did an amazing job on the nails. Yes. Thank you, Maiko, for the ring, the jewelry. Once again, thank you, Rahco, for all the styling. You know, and once again, a great creative team, Paul.
Rahco is amazing. He helped me put together my look for today. So he's like, yes, that's gonna be good.
You did that? Oh wow. Okay, you did great job. Great job. Yes. Yeah, very talented. Thank you so much, Lakeisha. I see you. I'm just saying hi to people. Thank you, Lakeisha. Yes. And 1000%, I agree. Courtney, I see you, man. Thank you again. Trey, I just want to say to you, Trey Williams, right? You've got a star on your hands, but you already know that. So I can't wait to see what you guys create. Uh-oh, I'm swooning over here. Courtney, take a cold shower. So I can't wait for what you guys create, Trey. I was saying that Trey Williams. I love seeing young filmmakers thing, and you know, so this is fantastic. It's been fantastic meeting you. I'm glad you're here in Harlem. This is one of my favorite covers. You nail it, you kill it. It's the sexiest cover we've had. I mean, it's wow. And it's cover number 21. And wait, I can't wait to see it. Like, you got it on your screen, but when you have it on your iPhone and you're looking at it, you'll be like, holy crap. Courtney, stop crying. So you got to beat them off a little bit, okay? But once again, we will be looking out for you with Holiday Heartbreak, everyone. Also, and I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. Doing Mercury retrograde, we made it through. And you're a wonderful guest. You're a beautiful person, inside and out. A talented actress. We all look fire. Charles said fire. We're supporting your career as well. And I just want to say one last. Trey said amazing. We probably have you on the cover too, Trey. And also my first time on Ambassador Magazine's platform. I love it. Great job, great show. See you and your team. Thank you, Trey. We'll be talking to you soon when your movie comes out. So you got to get you over here. Oh, by the way, my father's from Texas, by the way. Just so that you know. He would be around. He would love you too. So anyway, I want to say to you guys, thank you so much for joining us. Use this time we're early voting in New York. I got to reiterate this, guys. Early voting in New York. We're voting on November 3rd. We're all voting blue. We're going to change this country. We're going to take it back.
I want to say that.
Mm-hmm. You want to say anything, Maryam?
With you, just say definitely vote. Everybody vote. I just cast my ballot yesterday. I voted early, so I just want to say to everybody, it's super important to vote for this election.
Good.
Your voice matters.
And I love that you're kind of PC, and she didn't say who she voted for. I'm assuming I know who she voted for. But let's just go ahead, Paul. Paul, put it up there. Kamala invited. Yay! Get out of here, Trump. So anyway, once again, guys, thanks so much for another great episode. Thank you, Paul. I know you're busting your behind back there, trying to make it work. You want to say goodbye, Paul? Can you? He's trying. He can't. He can't. But I'll do the wave for Paul. I see him waving. I'm gonna, Anyway, once again, thank you guys. Thank you so much. You're stunning. You are absolutely a beautiful person inside and out. Okay, Paul just said, "Love y'all." So once again, I want to say to everyone, thank you so much for joining us at Ambassador Digital Magazine, and we will see you again. Wow, we will see you again Thursday next week. Have a wonderful week. Vote early if you can, but you must vote.